All right, today we're cracking a code, a university code. It's just a few tiny letters you see after a degree name, but trust me, understanding them could completely change your next few years of study. Let's get into it.
Okay, so picture this. You're looking at universities. You're seeing all these courses that sound pretty cool. Psychology, business, IT, and you're thinking, yeah, that's the one for me. You're focused on the what.
But here's the thing. Focusing only on that big, shiny, major name, it's one of the most common mistakes people make. The real story, the part that's actually going to define your day-to-day life as a student, is hiding somewhere else entirely.
And the secret is hidden in plain sight. It's those little letters right at the end, BA, BSc, and maybe you've seen Hans tacked on too. These are not just for show. They're basically a spoiler for how you're actually going to be studying.
First up, let's break down the BA. That stands for Bachelor of Arts. And if you go this route, think of it as choosing to learn about your subject through the world of words and ideas.
So, what does words and ideas really mean? It means your learning is built around concepts, theories, and human expression. You're going to be exploring the why and the how of things, mostly through discussion, interpretation, and telling a story.
And here's what that actually looks like day to day. You'll be doing a lot more reading, debating things in class, and crafting a lot of essays. It's less about formulas and way more about building a convincing argument. So, if you're someone who loves exploring different viewpoints and getting your own thoughts out there, a BA could be a perfect match.
Now, let's flip the coin and talk about the BSc, or Bachelor of Science. This is your entry into the world of data and logic.
A BSc totally changes the game. Instead of essays, your main tools are going to be data and logic. You're learning to approach your subject with a scientific eye. By measuring things, analyzing them, and looking for objective patterns.
And here's what that looks like in practice. For a BSc, your weeks are going to be filled with stuff like lab work, statistical analysis, and really structured research projects. There's a huge focus on numbers and logical thinking. If you love solving puzzles and finding concrete answers hidden in the data, you're probably going to thrive here.
And what about that little honors you sometimes see? Simple. It just stands for honors. You can think of it as a slightly upgraded version of the degree. It usually means the classes are a bit more advanced, and more often than not, it includes a big research project in your final year. To be honest, most degrees you'll find these days are honors degrees anyway.
Okay, so we've got the definitions down. BA, BSc, words, data. But the real question is, how do you choose? Deep down, are you more of a writer or more of an analyst?
And this is probably the most important thing you need to hear today. The exact same major can be a completely different university experience. Take psychology, for example. A BA in psychology might have you reading about Freudian theory and discussing case studies. But a BSc in psychology? You'd be in a lab analyzing brain imaging data. Or think about a business degree. A BA could focus on management theories and ethics, while a BSc would throw you deep into financial modeling and data analytics. Totally different worlds.
This comparison makes it super clear. With a BA, you're focused on words and ideas. Your main method is to write and discuss. The whole style is expressive. With a BSc, the focus is all on data and logic. The method is to analyze and research. The style is analytical. Two totally different paths to understanding the very same subject.
And let's get one thing straight, okay? This has absolutely nothing to do with being smart enough for one or the other. It's purely about how you prefer to work, what feels more natural to you. Do you get a buzz from crafting a really compelling argument in an essay, or do you love that feeling of digging into a spreadsheet and finding a hidden trend? To write or to analyze?
It is so important to remember this. There is no hierarchy here. A BSc is not better than a BA, and a BA is not better than a BSc. They are simply different approaches designed for different kinds of thinkers.
The only thing that matters is finding the better fit for you. Choosing the path that lines up with your natural strengths, with what you actually enjoy doing, that is the single biggest factor that will determine whether you just survive university or you actually have a great time.
So here's your mission. The next time you're scrolling through a university website, don't just stop at the name of the major. Look past it. Find those little letters, BA or BSc, because that's what's telling you the real story.
Because ultimately, those little letters are a powerful clue. They can help you predict your own happiness index for the next 3 or 4 years. So, are you going to set yourself up for a struggle against your own nature? Or are you going to choose the path where you can really, truly shine? The choice is all yours.